professionally. When they go on the road, they go on tour, and they're away from their families. So that was another topic we spoke about outside of the podcast, which was a topic that I wrote in my notes where I look into it. Okay, these are the main topics. These are the most important things that we talk about. Okay, some people don't talk about much of it because mostly back we didn't know not much about backstage until now. A lot of the access to the backstage. And see, me, like I was saying earlier, I'm not really much into the backstage, but it's interesting to hear and learn because you never know what the person's mentality is back there, especially a wrestler.
That's a
You
fact.
know, you take bumps and bruises in the ring, you did a lot of concussions, CTEs. I mean, you explained it. Chris Benoit. Um, and I don't even, I mean, there's so many wrestlers besides him. I mean, it's insane, you know? Chris Canyon, Sean O'Hare, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on mentally in a person's head. Like, man, I went through so many injuries, concussions, and it happens. Like these things are serious, and especially the situation what happened with Daphne. See, the situation that happened with Daphne was she had nobody around her. She was lonely. She just had these thoughts. She couldn't help it. And when she said donate my brain to Boston, that tells me she has a bad case of CTE. I looked back and did my research, and there was a match she was on not too long ago. This is why she kind of stopped wrestling for a while. She had a major concussion during a match. Okay, she toughed it out and everything, but that was the main reasons why she was kept out of wrestling for a while. To my knowledge, this is what I'm reading. I was reading on it. I forgot what source it was. Forgive me, Lord, for that one. Forgive me for that, fans. But it seems like people forget the seriousness of injuries in professional wrestling business. These guys don't the talent back there have no health insurance. There's
That's a fact.
nothing they can choose. Surprisingly, they don't even have a union. Okay, even speak about union about like say is sport between the difference between sports entertainment and pro wrestling. Just like we had a conversation with a friend outside of this podcast, and it tells you that once you get into that realm and into the pro wrestling business, it basically it tells you that you know what Vince is not for that. He doesn't care about it. He wants you to go out there and perform. That's what makes the company money. You make money. I make money. We all make money. We're supposed to be one big happy family. It doesn't go that way. People are miserable backstage. The traveling takes a toll on people. Because when you become an entertainer, you're traveling every day, 360 something days of a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're traveling, you're out there, you're never home. And that's the sad part. You know what I'm saying? It's like not like other athletes, like in sports, is the difference if you compare to, to basketball, football, hockey, and baseball. They all have a season where they play, they have schedules. They know they have a schedule from, like example, baseball is grueling. It starts from March, from February, March, all the way to October, and sometimes November, depending on the schedule of the playoffs. As you, as a wrestler, you can tell the people that when you have the experience, you heard all this experience about the wrestlers that came from Gleason's gym, from Johnny Rod School. They tell you. So explain to the fans what you experienced from learning from these guys.
One thing I tell you is that when you start off from Gleason's, it's no joke. The time you consume, if you have time, depending what you do behind Gleason's, meaning if you got to go to school, if you got a job. See, time consuming in wrestling business is very, very big. And it's basically a responsibility. So the knowledge and let me just say the knowledge and the tests and the drills and and mentally is challenging. For the simple fact is because Johnny Rods is no joke, man. You talking about a guy that is Puerto Rican, strict Puerto Rican family. You know, you got Johnny that used to shine shoes just to get to Madison Square Garden, bro, just to get to Madison Square Garden so he could be toe to toe with like Andre the Giant and stuff like that. So the things that I learned at Gleason's, it's not you just go take a wrestling bump. No, it's levels to that. You know, first you got to learn how to roll, then you got to know how to fall, then you got to know about respecting the business, meaning respecting your opponent in front of you. You basically putting your life on the line every day when you win that wrestling ring. I'm talking about any little quick wrong motive, you could end your career. You can get paralyzed. On top of that, the times that I started learning the fact that when you start watching wrestling as a kid, you think it's all sweet and games. No, man, it's a sport. It's a contact sport. It's not even a sport. It's everything. It's entertainment. It's wrestling. It's all that in one. And what I mean by entertaining, not like WWE. I'm talking about entertainment where you got to actually get in contact and reach goosebumps of a fucking fan. Basically, it could be a man or female. The time that I was at Gleason's, I was only 16 years old, man. I met Eddie Guerrero that same week, green as hell, with a lot of people that I bow my hats to this day that I'm watching. Like the other day, we went to AEW show and it was phenomenal. I got to see my brothers Santana and Ortiz in the ring doing what I started doing when I was 16, and I'm 34 years old right now. I was 365 pounds when I started at Gleason's. I weighed no, not even. I'm bugging. I'm 198, guys, and it's crazy. The reason why I'm this skinny is not because I'm celebrating I lost all that weight. I wish I was 365 pounds right now, J Rod. I swear. I kid you not. I was agile. I was like Keith Lee at one.
Yeah, that's the big dudes that come
You
in
know what
like
I'm
they
saying?
big and they
So
agile and they can get down in the ring.
so I follow Johnny's words. A lot of people right now in independent wrestling would say you didn't do shit. It's challenging in wrestling. That's how messed up sometimes it is. You got your right hand mans that you think is your right hand mans. There's nobody there is your friend. They're your friends. They love you, but it's tough love. It was never, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's a competition, fellas. And, you know, if you're going through shit behind the ring, it's eventually going to come into the ring. Eventually, a lot of stuff happens. It's sad because a lot of you know tilt the heads down, a lot of pour the liquor is the wrestling business. Suicide is the number one threat in wrestling right now, and it's sad. It's sad, and it's sad even more because I'm talking about sad times 20 for the simple fact, J Rod, is because they know, and when a person reaches out and still couldn't stop the person from doing what they're doing, how? Why? People forget, man. When you're going through that, if you're wrestling 7 days out of the week, J Rod, you basically have no time to just lay down and relax. See, these guys are on a road 7 days in the week, 365 days a year, putting their life on their line every day. Pain, it's 20 times over the board. And the health insurance and policy, depending where you work at, it's horrible. Only AEW right now, I put my hat to them because they know how to take care of not their talent. I'm not calling them talent, not their superstars. No, they're human beings. They take care of their own, their kind. WWE, not so really. I'm not here to knock anything in wrestling. I'm here to support wrestling, guys, because I am a wrestler. I'm still a wrestler, even though the setbacks that I went through of mental health is a problem in wrestling, brothers and sisters. Mental health is an issue that all of us needs to wake up and take care of each other. If you're a wrestler, if you support wrestling in general in wrestling, everybody needs to wake up and realize that. Because man, I'm lucky to be here, and it's because of this group, NYC Alliance, presenting me and J Rod. It is what it is. I was one person that almost committed suicide, brothers and sisters. And it was a good question that I'm going to say is that, honestly, answer this question, J Rob, real quick, and then I'm going to
Hmm.
go back. What do you think makes people want to kill themselves?
That's a good question. I mean, I really don't have much to answer for that, but my
That's, you answered me. That's the problem. People are scared to talk about suicide. People are scared to talk about mental health in general. It's a you know big thing, and that's the problem. People run from what's important. I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general, people, not all people, people really. You could say from 1 to 100, 50 out of that percent are running away from the simple fact is because they can't deal with a person wants to end their life. So imagine you have a daughter or a son and they want to kill themselves. You see, us parents would never want to hear that from our kids in general, because that right there is like, oh my God. So that's since that's so touching as a parent in general, human being, people run from it. If they don't know what to do, they freeze. They can help their kid, they can help somebody, but they just freeze. That's the problem. Another thing about wrestling, the drugs, the painkillers
yeah, that's the
that
most
we
important one.
consume just because we wrestle those many times a day out of the year. I had amazing moments in the locker room sharing first day of there of the week, second week in, I met Eddie Guerrero, Big Show, Don Marie, and Lydia. Honestly, I didn't go and, you know, basically be a mark and mark out because I seen Eddie Guerrero. I gave him
Mark
the
out.
respect. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the middle of the ring with Mike Ruzina, Mike Firezone, Ricky Vega, um, Red, and whoever's from Gleason's know who I'm talking about. Mac Daddy Flex, George Shanti that was just on AEW Dark. Um, Marsha Slamovich, she's a phenomenal. She was she at that time? No, she wasn't. But excuse me. But whoever was there, It was 5 in the morning. Fox 5, WrestleMania week. I'm in the middle of the ring. News reporter asks Eddie if he wants something to eat. Eddie's like, "Oh, no, 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 no." And she's like, "Please, please, 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 please." So he's like, "All right, let me get a quarter pound of ham and a quarter pound of turkey and a quarter pound of chicken." And she's like, "You want it in a sandwich?" And he's like, "No, no, no, quarter pound of ham, a quarter pound of turkey, and a quarter pound of chicken." She's like, "You want bread to the side?" "No, no bread." Like, so I was like, "Oh, protein. That's why you're about to get into some shit." And honestly, bro, and we're fans. I love Eddie, but it looks like Eddie was drinking last night. You know,
Yeah.
that's how it smelled, and he had the cologne. He had Dolce Gabbana on, probably whatever nice cologne, Spanish cologne. You know what I'm saying? But it looks like he was, basically hungover, but he got some protein. Anyways, we're in the middle of the ring. He looks at me. Well, not only me, he's basically monitoring everybody that's in the ring because we all set up, lined up, and we waiting for Johnny or him or anybody to say to take a bump or to do a roll or to do this or to do that. Basically, we're in the ring doing our thing. I'm green as fuck though. And I'm fucking so starstruck, it's not even funny. So I guess he's offering people if they want some food too. He's like, "You want some?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm good." So in the beginning of the day, they tell you sometimes don't like treat them as if they're a normal person. You know what I'm saying? It's honestly because you're a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? As you trying to become a wrestler, brothers and sisters, don't don't below yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't belittle yourself.
Don't. So
Wow.
just accept it and appreciate that you're in the fucking ring. Not only you getting teached by a legend, Johnny Rods, Hall of Famer,
Wow.
but you're in the ring with the champion of WWE at the time. You know what I'm saying? So we're there. We're waiting for the to call up, see what drills we're gonna do, and he's trying to offer some food. Everybody's denying. Let me fast forward to finally, Big Show's over here chopping Mike in the chest, and his whole handprint was on his chest. Me getting
I
chopped in
can
my
picture
chest,
that,
and oh my
man.
God, I never got chopped so hard in my life. My brothers and sisters, me and Big Show got the same finger length. The difference is, guys, is that y'all should know the difference, man. He has two of my hands. You know what I'm saying? So imagine, right? Imagine basically a hand this big. Me and him got the same finger
Oh
length
man.
because we went like this together. Crazy, Jesse.
I'm crazy because of, like, imagine me getting chopped from Big Show. Damn. Oh.
Look how,
Oh
yeah,
man.
exactly. And you're a
Like I'm
big
feeling.
guy. You're,
I'm
you know
not
what I'm
big that
saying?
big.
You're a big guy.
I'm
But
only 5'10",
imagine, I could
200.
tell you the feeling. It's like getting hit. Okay, let me think of a good good pain relief or reflect of that. Let me see.
Damn, I can't. I gotta stop thinking about
All right,
that. They hurt.
imagine getting hit with the pans, a pan.
Yeah, like a cooking
Imagine
pan.
getting hit with a pan that's wet,
Jesus Christ.
and the pain and the basically the reaction and the feeling after that, it's even worse. Is because it boiled up fast. straight up. The blood was already coming out my chest.
Mm.
And it felt like a tattoo. You got tattoos?
Nah.
All right.
I'm
If
surprised
you
you didn't even see that on the other day. I got no tattoos, but I hate needles.
so
That's one thing about me.
you
Ugh.
you all right. Your wife got tattoos?
Nah.
Okay.
But
You
I
know
know
the
what I
feeling of the
know.
tattoo? Have you ever touched somebody's tattoo?
Yeah.
Or you know the certain tattoos that bubbled up, that bubble, that you can feel the words or whatever, like they
Yeah,
pop
the
out.
ones that like they see like a 3D almost imprinted in
Bro, that's
the
how
skin.
his handprint felt after that.
Jesus Christ.
And I
Yeah.
had his handprint on my chest for 2 weeks.
God, for 2 weeks? Now that's the main topic too. Even in training you could get hurt. But that's learning how to
That's not even training. I was fresh in. Fresh in.
was that an initiation to get into pro wrestling?
Yeah. I believe so. Because
they
Big
got you
Show,
too.
him
Oh my
chopping you and telling you, welcome to he didn't even need to say that. Who got it bad though wasn't me, was Mike at the time. And
which mic?
Jesus, I forgot it was hard. It's bad, it's sad, is because I only know them by their real names.
I think you said something about Mike Santi or something that he was in
No,
AEW.
not
That wasn't
Santi.
him.
No. George
That wasn't
Santi, somebody
him.
else.
George Santi. Okay, wrong thing.
George was there. George is a phenomenal man. You know what I'm saying? Upcoming guys and brothers and sisters, pay attention. He was on AEW Dark. You could look it up. George
YouTube.
Santi. Um, yeah, I know about Slamovich. She's from Gleason's
Masha
too.
Masha Slamovich.
She's from Gleason's too, and
Yeah, she's got a good background in wrestling too. Take your time.
so yeah, Slamovich. Well, she did her thing. She went to Japan. Unfortunately, since the pandemic happened, she had to basically be stranded in Japan. But she did a fucking thing. And Annie, everybody's that's my friend. She's Gleason's own, and um, she's my sister. Congratulations! I am fucking beyond proud of you because you make me feel even better as a person to fulfill my dream. And this was our dream.
And we're
My
gonna applaud to
tilts and
that.
my roses. Yes, claps. Let's do some claps for her, please.
I'm telling you, those who made it pro wrestling,
Oh,
big. We're gonna
another
give big
one
shout
for also
outs.
for George Santi. Another one
George
for George
Santi
Santi.
made it to AEW.
Another two hat to Jungle Boy. You know what I'm saying? Jungle Boy. Another tilt to hat. These are people I'm tilting that I know personally. Um, Santana Ortiz.
Santana Ortiz, yo, shout out to Santana Ortiz, proud and powerful.
My brother from another mother, Homicide.
Oh, Homicide, yeah, definitely. And I was gonna ask you too. I didn't want to cut off, but the guys that were on, because I have a weird feeling that you know some guys from House of Glory
Okay.
because you from the area, right? So I'm thinking like, yo, he's got to know. Because it's funny because when we went to the show 2 days ago, right? I saw you stand up for. You didn't stand up for the entire show, but when you stand up to Santana Ortiz, I had a feeling, boom, there's a connection between him and these guys. There's a connection because those guys are originally from the city. They're from your area. So I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, they know each other, because when I went to your neighborhood, yo, I'm not gonna lie, folks. I gotta tell you this story. I gotta tell the story real quick. Can I tell the story real quick? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I went to this man's neighborhood before the show. I wanted to chill with him for a while. say what up, and we was gonna take the cat over there because he had a boot on his foot. He has an injury. So we're over here like his uncle lost his keys. His cousin's helping to look around. I didn't know what was going on. All I did was I got off the train and I walked around the corner. I'm trying to look for his house. I'm looking for his apartment, wherever the information he gave me. So I'm looking around. I'm looking around. He sees a gentleman. He's looking. He's going. He's talking to some guy on a bike, and then boom, and click. All of a sudden, he lost his keys, and he doesn't remember. He's going fast. Then I noticed. I went and I found the number of his address. So all I heard was like the guy going to the door, the guy who lost his keys, and it's calling him. He's ringing. I'm on the phone with this guy. I'm like, wait a minute. They just called him upstairs. I hear the door ringing, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just keeping it quiet, minding my own business like I always do. Then all of a sudden, I start talking to the other guy that was helping. He told me it was his uncle and his other cousin. And soon as they were hit, now they rang the doorbell again, and I was like, yeah, that's my guy. That's the guy I'm here for. I'm here to chill with Josh. We're gonna go watch wrestling. And he was like, yeah, that's my cousin. All right, I'll call him. I'm on the phone with him right now if you want to call him, because he thought the keys were upstairs in your apartment. So ever since then, me and his cousin Mike, we started talking. We clicked because I had a Mets hat on. I was wearing my Kobashi Fortune shirt and my New Japan face neck gator because, like I said, whatever. Long story short, so we clicked, we talked, and his other cousin came by, his uncle. I was trying to figure out what was going on, so he's trying to I told him, we're trying retracing your steps. Do you remember last time you was at? And then now he remembered after that, after conversating with him. So now he remembered where his keys were at, and it was funny because after that, we talked. I said goodbye. We was off to AEW to meet up our boy Base Kit, who's on the show right now. Shout out to Base Kit. We understand if you're on mobile and you're lagging, don't worry about it. There's always gonna be the recordings of the show, and it's gonna be posted on YouTube also. The second part. All right, guys. The first episode we did earlier, there's a possibility. I don't know if I want to. I'll keep it on Twitch for now, but we had a lot of technical difficulties in the first part. Now
Yes,
we're
we
doing the
did.
second part. Now we got everything figured out, and now we can talk about everything. I
Yes,
know
we
it's like
can.
1 o'clock in the morning, so we got a few more minutes we could talk because this is like the first beginning episode. Because we're gonna get into more topics. We're gonna have guests, like I explained earlier. We're gonna have guests. We're gonna have people. We're gonna have questions.
Let me
Um,
do this for you.
all right,
Let
go
me
ahead.
do this for you. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, this is not just something that we're just gonna do once in a while. No, this is gonna be every Friday. Mental health, wrestling, and strictly only about mental health, wrestling, and whatever that's involved in the scene of wrestling. It could be hip hop sometimes, but this is strictly here for wrestling, not WWE bullshit. Even though we're going to support them, because I am a wrestler, I am not a superstar. I am not a superhero. I could be for kids. I'm a heel, damn it. That's what I'm saying.
He's cutting the promo, folks.
Other than that, I love the reaction of kids. And I want this show to basically focus on everybody to understand that wrestling is phenomenal and it's dangerous at the same time. And we all need to realize and wake up and get together. There's a hip hop culture. We need this wrestling culture to be on point, and suicide has to stop. Has to stop. A group that's here presenting, joining us right now, Cardi, to my hats list. Can I get a round of applause for the GM of NYC Wrestling Alliance? Can I keep getting applause for the boss? And can I keep getting a loud applause?
I can't
Because
do a lot
we're
because my
gonna
kids are
take
still.
over and have a federation next year, and it's because of Cardi. Cardi
Shout out to
don't have to
Cardi
go
right there. Luna
through.
Bombay 92. Follow her. She also streams on Twitch. And I'm gonna tell you, she was on the show earlier. Man, yo, let me tell you something about Cardi. She's the main reason we also have this podcast going because she has aspirations of to becoming a pro wrestler. I had a conversation with Cardi last week. She had plans. She was talking about she gotta get up early, but before that, we was conversating about professional wrestling, the main topic. She was at all of my not just my knowledge of wrestling, but my interest. Like I gave her the starting point of when I really loved wrestling, when I got that start because I was telling the folks earlier about I felt WWE was cheesy, well WWF at that time. Don't sue me. I'm just pointing out the history of it. So at that time, I was like, it felt cheesy. I want to watch baseball. That's it. I got into it because my cousin was like, "Oh, wrestling challenge is on." I'm like, "Damn, I can't watch this week in baseball because this big headed fool over here wanted to watch wrestling." And it kind of annoyed my grandmother, even though she loves wrestling. But
It happens.
I was her favorite grandson. That's not. But
That's
God rest my
probably why.
soul. My grandmother. There's a story to that too that I'll say another time. We're gonna get to that topic soon. My thing was I didn't get into wrestling until I watched WCW back in '91, and I was 8 years old. I was telling the crowd the first part of the show. Sting was my favorite wrestler, and he will always be my favorite wrestler. And on his past and everything he went through, I even saw not just the documentary, but the movie that he did. It was a Christian movie he did, and I watched it because at that time, 2012, I think around that time it was the movie that came out, and I was into Christianity. I was into the faith too, and that's another thing too. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get into to wrestlers who converted into Christianity and spiritually. Um, and one person I'm gonna name just for now, and I want to give him a shout out, Mark Merrow. You're doing one hell of a job, man. You're doing one hell of a job because I see you on Twitter, I see you on Instagram. You're out there, he's a motivational speaker now. Not too many people know. He's giving his testimony. And now he's also a Christian too, that he goes to church. He gave his life to Christ and he had a turnaround. And it's great. He looks great. He still look he could get in the ring. I looked at him, I was like, yo, Mark Merrill still looks young. He looked like he still could get in. But back to what I was saying, Sting was the guy for me in WCW. And I'll always be a Sting fan. The Monday Night Wars, the Attitude Eras. We're gonna get into that farther in the future. This is just an episode of we're just starting off. We're starting off to a point where we're gonna be right here. We start from the bottom. I'm not gonna say the whole rap lyrics of Drake and all that because I'm not a Drake fan. I don't care. Anyways, but we're gonna start from this is a ladder. Okay, this is the ladder. We're starting from here. We're working our way up. This is baby steps. And a simple fact of a podcast like this, there's more to come. Guys, there's more to come to this show. You guys are welcome. If you want to talk, if you're a big wrestling fan, this is the podcast you want to come. If you have mental health problems and issues, you need somebody to talk to, don't be afraid to come to us. We'll do what we can. Okay. This is an interesting topic of why we here. Why we here? Because of the importance of mental health and professional wrestling. All right, we have a gentleman here right next to me who's been through it all, you know, and he's been giving me updates of his health lately. And I don't know if you want to give an update of what's going on with your health
You've been
lately. And
waiting for me to get in.
okay, so give us an update on what's going on with your health, Pumba. I keep butchering your name, goddamn.
Unfortunately, guys, uh, as you know, and if you went to Gleason's, because in other places, in other companies, and see the difference. Gleason's is a school, it's a program, it's a club, and then there's independent wrestling. If you understand what I'm saying. Um, the only places that know me is Gleason's, so I was there for a pretty long time. I was there in okay, I'm 34 years old now. I was started when I was 16. So do the math, J Rod.
That's about good 16, 34, 16. Oh, shoot. That's about a good, what, 12, 15 years right there?
Okay, to I wrestled in
No,
total
no,
at
no, no, no. My fault. I'm
Gleason.
sorry to interrupt. 34, 16. That's about almost like 18 years, though. You started at 16, right? And then now you're 34.
I started at Gleason's when I was 16.
That's about a good, wow. Yeah, that's a chunk of change right there.
Okay, and I've been in Gleason's since. I haven't left nothing, and I stopped 2018 due because of my diabetes, my gastritis previous. It's the worst gastritis. Basically, my stomach line is damaged, and I took care of myself. It's just diabetes, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very, very dangerous thing, and including when you're born with it, which unfortunately it's sad, but I'm dealing with it. And that was one of the reasons why mental health is another issue in this whole topic. But my health it's not good, guys. I've been fighting. I basically since from 2018 and we're in 2021, I've been in the hospital. That's how long I've been in the hospital, ladies and gentlemen, and nobody knows. And it's uh it's challenging. This is my championship match. This is stay alive, ladies and gentlemen, and I am grateful that the fact that the NYC Alliance is the reason why I'm not. I got two daughters, but not only that saved me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, your kids is your kids, and it's your job to stay alive for them. Sometimes in suicide and dark places, you don't even think about that, and it's true. So my health went beyond me, and I'm still fighting it, ladies and gentlemen. I am lucky to be here. I had got the vaccination and almost died because of the vaccination. I caught COVID. Worst thing to have when you're type 1 diabetic and you're going through kidney problems and stuff like that. I was in a nursing home this young. Seeing that type of stuff fucked up my and it's 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 beyond me to go ahead and look at somebody and tell them I'm all right. I'm not all right, but I'm fucking happy now. I got a best friend that's my co-host right now as we speak, right next to me. And I got this alliance, and Cardi and the alliance saved my life, ladies and gentlemen. And mental health is a problem in wrestling, and we need to do something about it. But my health is at right now, thank God, and because of you guys of giving me faith to fight, I'm on 80%. Next year, I'll be back in the ring, J Rod, with the podcast, with the alliance. So that tells you to answer your question. I'm getting better, my brother, and I'm so happy. So happy. Right now, I'm gonna just be honest with you. This was a key. I am so glad that I posted a video on my Facebook one day, and a stranger, you and a female, hit me up. And ever since then, look where we at right now, my brother. We got a podcast. My health is getting better just because now I'm fighting to stay alive. I want to stay alive. I got a podcast to run with my brother here. So my health is getting better, my brother. It was sad at one point, you know what I'm saying? I had 6 surgeries all combined. I'm 34 years old. Uh, 4 concussions in the ring. 2 ACL pops on the same knee. Worst knee they popped. My left knee right here, ladies and gentlemen. Um,
I
wrestling
know about
is
ACs, ACL
wrestling
sucks.
is tough, guys. And you know, honestly, if you don't sleep shit, fuck wrestling, bro. Don't waste your time, man, ladies and gentlemen, because you gotta have no you don't have so much to do if you don't got time for wrestling. If you're thinking about having kids, don't bother. It's crazy I said that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you want to chase a career, a dream, you want to be a legend on top, like how Hall of Famers and things like that, and you want to kick ass. I'm not saying you can. I'm not saying you can. I'm just saying if it's not in your blood, you don't bother. It's so painful, ladies and gentlemen. But I tilt my hat because I am a fighter and a wrestler. They say we got the wrestling syndrome. It's true. It's damn true. We can have a broken neck and still wrestle. But like J Rod was saying, this show is gonna take over. And it's crazy how things came about. And I'm gonna shout it out. You know, I've been involved in podcasts that I haven't been on. I I met good people and bad people in this process, and certain podcasts do their own thing. Sometimes, it is what it is that another podcast could discriminate women or have hate or they're smoking weed or they're drinking or whatever the podcast it is. Shout outs to Drink Champs, all I took my hat to all podcasts at the end of the day. This is a podcast, but this podcast is different, ladies and gentlemen. Is no hate, no discrimination, not even to women. We don't below nobody. Mental health is a problem and people need to do something about it. Wrestling is beautiful and it's sad and people need to get together. And this podcast is J Rod and Pumbaa's, Mr. Miyagi's. It is what it is because life is what it is. Basically, somebody got shot, God forbid, in the corner, is what it is. If somebody became a champion, it is what it is. If somebody is fighting mental health, it's not what it is. We need to do something to be what it is. And what it is needs to get better. We're the voices of the voiceless. You understand, brothers and sisters? Anybody in this group, in this chat, in this podcast, reach out, say what you gotta say. There are gonna be interviews. There are gonna be surprises, especially the third episode, big surprise. My mentor, my master, my sensei, my manager, my father figure, Johnny Rods, will be and hopefully be on the show ladies and gentlemen.
Shout out to
Um,
Johnny Rods.
Shout out to Johnny Rods. Hopefully, Danny Limelight. Shout out to Danny Limelight. He's doing his thing in independent wrestling.
Oh,
Hopefully,
he's doing great.
Slamovich. Hopefully, and yes, God willing, and Will Must, Matt Striker, Devon Dudley. And another thing, since this podcast is also with mental health, one of my brothers, Bill Demond, your daughter, may she rest in peace. And another brother that I seen with mental health, Big Cash. I seen your special that you did on YouTube about mental health. I'm there with you, my brother. And soon we'll be seeing each other on this podcast. Damn it. Shout out to Santi. Shout out to everybody that did their thing right now that was from recent. Um, Logan Black, CS C2, Logan Black, Brooklyn, Williamsburg, to C2T Academy Wrestling. Look it up, guys. C2T Academy Wrestling in Brooklyn. Logan Black. Shout outs to Shotgun. If y'all don't know who I'm talking about, trust me, if y'all follow the independent wrestling scene, Shotgun, Logan Black, um, Tyree, Brooklyn Tiger Tyree, doing his thing, phenomenal. But what I just want to go and say, and just clear this up. Nobody, and I repeat, disrespects this podcast. If you have disrespect on the comments, yeah, will get booed and banned. Leave us alone, and that's it. Jesse right here, aka J Rod.
I'm fine being called Jesse. I don't even care at the
I
moment.
love you, my brother.
Everybody knows my
And
real name
we're
already.
not ending this
I
yet.
don't
I
care.
don't want to end this yet because, you know, this was the first draw. It was little bloopers in the way. Next week is going to be so different, so crazy. It's going to be phenomenal. Episode 2, and I'm promoting this right now, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 2 and 3 is going to be mind blowing. And every Friday from here and on with my brother J Rod, um, there's going to be stories. Yes, me, my personal life, my wrestling career, people who I met. There'll be pictures. There's gonna be videos. We're gonna be interviews, and almost going towards the 10th episode. We're gonna have live one-on-one with any anybody I mentioned, and it will happen. It is what it is. Think it, say it, do it. Whoever's watching this, my advice as a wrestler, actor, whatever your dream is, for you, Jesse, think it, say it, do it. That's
Just
it.
do it.
Think
Just
it,
do it.
say it, do it. Um, just to get on the topics is, we didn't do that, and I'm doing that now. Let's start right now. We got a few, Jesse. Topic 1, AEW. My brother, Jesse, J Rod, what you think about AEW from all out on all in, all out to all in? What you think? Your advice, quick, let me know.
Okay, so what I seen on AEW Dynamite and Rampage was that there's storylines to it. They're catching the fans' attention. This is what I see in AEW. Okay, um, we seen a lot of things that go on in from start to finish, from the beginning to the end of the show. And our brother Base Cape was there. Shout out to Base Cape folks, who just gave me the two sweet. That's the emote that he has created. Gotta love the guy. Shout him out. Gotta
It
love
is
the
what it
guy.
is. The
It
man
is what
made the
it is.
logo.
He made the logo and everything. Um, from what I was thinking is, when I brought out the intention of, you want to grab the attention of the wrestling
Oh,
fan.
you hear that?
Oh,
Go
you
ahead, bro.
came out of
Go
you
ahead.
came
Go
out of
ahead, bro.
nowhere with, yo.
Go ahead, bro. Go
I was
ahead. Go
gonna
ahead.
get. I thought I was gonna get RKO. Nah, but
No, read between the lines. You hear that?
damn. Wow. Anyways, I don't know
Go
what I
go
mean.
ahead.
Like I said, I'm just trying to get beyond that one, but that
Go
was
ahead.
funny. So what you want to do is, when you're a professional wrestler, you're doing the storylines, you're doing the booking, right? You want to grab the fans' attention. You want him to see and view. Why do you see? My question is, why do you
Ask me.
want
I
your
know you want to
fans?
ask me that. The question's for me. You want to ask. What's the reaction you
What
get
caught
out
your
of the
attention?
fan
What was your, as a wrestling fan? Okay, you were sitting down with
as a
us.
wrestler or fan? Go ahead.
Uh,
I'm basically the
so you
attention
know,
you get. All right. If you're a heel or your face, you got to play your job. You got to sell.
oh,
So
definitely.
the best heel, in my opinion, right now in the world is MJF.
MJF is the man right now. Shout out
You
to
know what I'm
Maxwell
saying?
Jacob Friedman. MJF is
We're
the
on the
man.
topic of AEW.
So
MJF is so. My point of view on that is, you see how he goes and sticks the middle finger to a random person in the street? You gotta play the role. You gotta be a bad guy.
he
You can't.
kayfabes it.
You can't
He's
just
smart.
um. He's so smart at that, and that's why he's selling. He he's gonna be big, and he is big. And this kid is only young. He's younger than me. I'm jealous, but I
He's
have
younger,
respect for
way
the
younger
guy.
than me.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
So
probably close to his father's age. It's, people, if you don't want
you
to
see
believe me, I am
MJF,
38 years old.
and everybody's gonna look at me like, what? Some people are gonna be like, what the fuck? No, I'm on point. You see, because when The Rock became bad, he took that shit and killed it. They booed him and he ate it because it really hurt him. See, MGF is different. MGF, bro, there's
He
people
keeps
that
a
want to
kayfabe,
shoot this
yeah.
guy, like, oh my god, that he needs security type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, in order to grab a kid's attention where you're bad or good, you have to see if you got one kid cheering you, that's one. Expand that. So you got one kid, boom. You got the second kid, that's two. You got the third kid, that's three. You got the fourth kid, that's four. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You see how what I learned for wrestling is like comedy. I learned this from Dave Chappelle. If you got one kid laughing, expand that to 12. If you have 12 kids, look how many people is that. That's 12 people. Do another 12. Do another 12. Do another 12. You understand what I'm saying? So as a wrestler, if you get cheered from one to two to three, make it more. Get if you get them, talk to them, make them feel that you're going through hell because you're fighting a grimy ass motherfucker in the ring that's trying to rip your head off. Or if you're a heel, you're fucking him up and everybody hates you. You love it. You get in their faces. You got to grab that. As a fan, we love that shit. It's like watching a fucking movie. When you watch Scarface,
catching
when you watch,
catching heat.
you know what I'm saying? Or when you're playing baseball games and the fucking Yankees or the Mets won the World Series. Holy shit.
Well, everybody hates New York anyways.
But
And we're both New Yorkers, so you know.
listen. As a wrestler, I can't even say I'm New York. I'm all states.
All state and all world.
I'm all state, but I'm
worldwide.
originally faithfully and Brooklyn's own. Yes, I am Brooklyn's own. Um, we so basically MJF is a phenomenal heel. He grabs the audience real fast just because he's a fucking asshole and he sticks to his character. You know what I'm saying? The problem with that too is that people think that's really how he is. You know what I'm saying? Because if you know being an actor, it
He gets
takes a
booed at the same
part of
time.
you. You know what I'm saying? Being doing something that you do, and I learned this watching a documentary to the Joker for Heath Ledger, and just to get off real quick off top. Not that we're not getting off topic. It's the same thing because acting, wrestling is all that in there. Um, I learned from when you become a character, it takes a toll out of your life.
Oh, it does.
So, you know what I'm saying? For an example, to get back into the number one thing that we're talking about is the mental health in wrestling. Um, New Jack, he was a gangster because that's who he was. Straight gangster. I'm
He,
talking about Jesse. I met this guy many times. Disrespectful and a humble ass dude, man. The character was grimy, even though it was him. But it's sad how everybody appreciates him now, but when he was alive, everybody turned their backs on him.
oh yeah. I mean, we saw a Dark Side of the Ring
It
episode. I
has
mean, I love New Jack. I love this attitude. I love this aura. I'm gonna be honest with you. You want to talk about being from a city, and he seems like it seems like his character, not just only his character, but him being him. It felt like a New Yorker character type, even though he was raised and grown up in the South. Being originally from North Carolina, it felt like he was originally from New York City. To me, his whole aura, his attitude, his demeanor, it felt like 125th Street. It felt like it had a Harlem feel to it because they are gutty and they're gutted for that one. You want to talk
not
about
even
grime?
Harlem, East New York. Too.
East New York, you know, and like I said, I'm originally from Manhattan myself. I'm from Washington Heights. Like I said, people think I'm Dominican. I'm not Dominican. Okay, get okay.
You okay?
So that I mean that of his own of a character of a wrestler. I mean, like I said, as an example, Sting catching my attention, thinking like, okay, he's like almost to the word, but different. He's got a like a fade crew cut type.
Just on the record, my brother, I met Steve Borden.
You met Sting.
I
Oh
just said his
man,
real name, Steve Borden.
wow! How long ago was this?
When they released Sting Unmasked tape WCW, when they promoted in Blockbuster, it was on 14th Street. At the time Sting came, it was surprise WCW. I forgot what year that tape came out, but if y'all know what I'm talking about, you can look it up.
It was
Sting's
probably like
Unmasked. Sting's
1998.
Unmasked, the tape for the first time he was ever interviewed when he was the Crow version of Sting. Yes, that's when I met Steve Borden.
It had to be like
And it was because
99,
also,
2000, somewhere around
and
there.
I met him in 42nd Street because at the time WCW was in New York, and at the time WWE restaurant was there. So WCW intruded, and nobody knew about this. Sting came to WWE New York. Nobody knew about that. It's because at the time Vince was getting rid of the restaurants or Hard Rock Cafe. So that's when I met Sting. Also,
It
guys.
was actually
I met
1990. It was actually 1999.
that, and I met him the second time when they were selling the restaurant. So yeah,
That's funny you say that because 1999 was when WWF lured me in with The Rock as a heel character, and I will always remember this, and I will always remember because I actually watched the finger poke of doom match. I've seen that match, and it was like the same night where Mick Foley won his championship. I'm going back and forth, like, why is Tony Schiavone saying this? I actually tuned into WWF Raw that night. I said, wait a minute, how does he know this was going on? I tuned in. I'm telling you, that was one of the best action. I said, yo, WCW, and I had a feeling. I got goosebumps from my experience speaking this. WCW was gonna collapse after that. I had a feeling about it. I felt like, damn, why did they do this? Like I'm only 16.
What's sad, and I'm gonna quote you on. You're wrong on that, but you're right too. Everybody blamed, and it's in history, Jesse, who they blamed when WCW ended.
Blame
It
Eric
wasn't the
Bischoff.
whole finger poke. That was the begin.
That was the beginning. Yeah, that was the
That
beginning.
was the icing, but the cherry on the cake what destroyed wrestling, and it's sad because I'm gonna tilt my hat to that man because he got stabbed in the neck for it. It was because David Arquette.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, you know what? You're right. Because they blamed They blamed a lot of things. See, this is why I don't like the. This is why I don't like the internet wrestling community. Okay, they've been pissing me off since day one. All right, and it's like the reason the now when I everything just fell into place, and we heard Eric Bischoff's side because my thing was Eric Bischoff
Eric
told
doesn't
Tony Sean,
blame David Arquette. That's the thing.
but here's the real reason, and listen to me because
But the
this
but
pop
the
you know this
company,
one.
the 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 reptilians, the millionaires, and Ted Turner and all that blamed David Arquette.
Because it's something about exposing the business. That's why. But there was one. But the thing was that yes, he was to blame, but there was other things that was going around. If you
Yes,
heard
of course.
Eric Bischoff, I kind of put the blame on him too. Eric Bischoff was kind of on the part of the blame, but then when I found out really what was going on backstage and what he was talking about, he soon as Time Warner AOL at the time bought WCW World Championship Wrestling. All right, they bought Ted Turner's company. It's Time Warner. You don't remember if you're from New York area. I had Time Warner cable when I was young.
Hmm.
I was cable living in Diamond Projects in Washington Heights. Well, my mom's gonna say Inwood Heights, but it's Washington Heights. It's on the borderline. Doesn't matter. So, so when I found out when he was talking about that, he kind of exposed that part, and then I started getting understanding where from Bischoff's part because yes, he got blamed for the whole telling Tony Schiavone put the butts in the seats comment. That'll put butts in the seats comment, but at the same time, it was like he wanted to buy the company back and I guess redeem the company of WCW because he was doing a phenomenal job with WCW. Like the whole storyline, the booking, the commentating team, it all stems from the back in the locker room. But when Tony Schiavone exposed all that, he hated the wrestling business for the way it was because he thought WCW was ran like shit. And it's true. And I'll give you one prime example why I didn't like WCW, what they did wrong. Not to the beginning, but in the middle of '92. There was a feud between Sting and Rick Rude. And
Hmm.
I told you, I told Base Kid, there was that one storyline that they dropped the ball on. You put the title on Sting because Lex Luger's leaving, right? He goes to WWF. You put the title on Sting because he wanted the whole situation, the whole was because Luger's contract was expiring, and he had other options. And Starcade '91 was the storyline like of the beginning of okay, Sting versus Luger. Okay, so the whole Sting Luger started in Clash of the Champions in November, and it's extend to Super Brawl 2. because he won the battle royal in Super and Starcade
Right.
'91, the first ever Lethal Lottery 2 ring battle royal. They haven't had in like 2 years. So Sting beats Luger, throws him off the top rope, he wins. That's like the whole point of like a Royal Rumble. Get that man a title shot, build the storyline. There wasn't too much time to build that storyline between Sting and Luger. It kind of didn't make any sense, but it was great that Sting won the title and beat him. In that match, Luger was gassed out within 5 minutes. His stamina was terrible. He had
This is when he was
20
taking the
25
wrong
pounds.
steroids. So
He was
yeah, I
abusing
know.
steroids.
No, he was taking the wrong ones at that
Yeah,
time. But go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
but at the same time, why not build a feud between Sting and Rick Rude? Because Rick Rude took the belt from Sting. He took the US title. And you know the prestige title in WCW was the United States heavyweight title.
Yes.
So you had the number one contender versus the world heavyweight champion. Let them clash, build a storyline. After World War 92 War Games, the storyline kind of died down. They went from Sting to Vader. Yes, Sting, Vader was getting popped. He was coming from Japan. They wanted to give him that push. I didn't understand that. I was mad about that. When they put the strap on Vader and all the storylines was just, and then they had the was it the NWA International Championship belt that Rick Rude had actually won. I forgot what match it was. He beat somebody for it, and then he became champion. Then he loses the belt to Masahiro Chono in the G1 tournament in New Japan, which to me was one of the best G1s that because I went back to New Japan World and I'll tell you between 91 and 92, those are the two best years of the G1 tournament. And I was two in a row that Masahiro Chono won. And he became known as Mr. G1 because he kept winning every G1 since then. So the storyline could discombobble. We have Ric Flair's old gold belt as the NWA International
Oh
Tag
shit! Fuck!
Champions.
Fuck!
What happened? Okay, we have another technical difficulties. I guess. Okay. All right, we have I guess the his phone. He's using his phone to record a video. I'm gonna keep going. So it's like that. It's like you discombobulate the whole storyline, and I'm like, oh, like WCW, what are you doing? Like, why did you take the strap off Sting and put it on Vader? What kind of storyline they built it? It kind of lost my attention, but I just like the action in the ring. Promo after promo and everything. It killed everything for me. So I guess he'll come back. Yeah. Exactly. All right, so we're gonna carry on the show. He's gonna come back on it, and he's just got to charge his phone. Um, he's. I gotta give a shout out to him. I mean, Jay. We don't call him Boomba and Eke Miyagi when he was known from the other podcast. I'm gonna tell him we're gonna change all that. We're just gonna call you Jay Flow when he went in the beginning of his wrestling career. So that whole storyline between Sting and Vader, it just didn't make any sense. It did discombobbled the whole storylines in WCW. I'm like, well, where's Sting gonna be in the title picture? Like, when is this gonna happen? So we're just gonna keep a storyline of a non-title match between Sting and Vader. Like, I think Starcade '92 itself just killed Sting's career. Like '92, I think WCW killed Sting's career. Like, it killed his run. He was getting that hot babyface momentum, and they screwed it up to me. To me, yes, I had a discussion with somebody that I know. I'm not gonna mention his name because he was somewhat of a friend, and we
Back.
got him back on the show.
I'm
Okay,
back. I'm back.
you're good. Don't worry about it. We did. Yo, after that, I was just like, dude, explain the whole thing. Okay, so like I'm gonna go
Hold on,
back to
you sound like a robot again.
oh, it's the echoing.
No, I don't know. You sound different.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Well,
I
let
hate.
me get back in. Let me back in. Hold
All right, just gonna get back in. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Yeah, so back to this thing, the Vader situation. So Ron Simmons wins the WCW title. Vader didn't even have it for like a month and a half, and there he goes.
You
Fuck
sound better now.
that.
Okay.
Oh man, my throat. So I gotta get a drink of water after this from all that talking. So back to this thing in Vader's situation.
Yes.
Vader loses the strap of probably like a month and a half to Ron Simmons. Now Ron Simmons WCW champion. Then Rick Rude, I don't know, I forgot who he beat. I gotta look that up. He beat somebody for the NWA International title belt, or there was a tournament for that. Masahiro Chono beats him in a G1 tournament in the final. So you got Masahiro Chono NWA International title versus Ron Simmons WCW. Maybe you could have built a storyline around that.
Maybe.
WCW just kept
Maybe.
throwing matches around, like Sting, what Ron Simmons, like Halloween Havoc '92, prime example. Ron Simmons versus the Barbarian. Barbarian gets a WCW title shot. Why not? Why
You're
not
not a
Doctor Dexter?
barbarian fan?
I'm a Barbarian fan. No disrespect to Barbarian. I don't want to get my head kicked off. I'm gonna explain to you why. Because no disrespect, he's a great athlete, great wrestler. Terrible to put him in a storyline where he's lost in the shuffle. Remember that word?
Mm,
Lost in the shuffle. That word always comes up in
okay.
wrestling terms, especially with Tony Schiavone. And he gets lost in the shuffle. Then the was it the NWA International Title match was a rematch from the G1 final, Rick Rude
Yeah.
versus Masahiro Chono,
Yeah.
right? And Rude gives us his spot for the US title match. I forgot who he gave it to. And it was supposed to be facing off, and it ended up being, I guess, Nikita Koloff versus Vader. I gotta look that match up. I gotta watch that match again. And it's like that storylines. Like even Tony Schiavone said it in his own podcast with Conrad Thompson. What happened when? And I remember listening to it, and he was like, "Yeah, WCW was just it was a clusterfuck in the backstage. Like the production team just didn't. The booking, the everything, just everything sucked because the camera production missed a lot of the important stuff in the ring. There was a lot of botching going around on ringside. Like we don't know where the camera angles. The camera angles were poor. They just it seemed like a gentleman just can't handle panning, zooming in, zooming out. You got to pan and you got to get the perfect spots. See that you have so much cameramen, you hired them, and then they got these spots, these camera spots, and you're just like, yo, what the? Because this, yo, what you just missed the important spot. And I know that there was not they just didn't care. It seemed like that's what I got upset with WCW. They had so much potential, but then when Bischoff ran it, it was a whole different ball game. Soon as Hogan came, all these old WWF, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy when Hogan came to WCW. I was like, there goes Sting's push. Oh, there we go. Soon as I said that, he got disconnected. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut it short. I'm gonna tell them that we're gonna get 5 minutes because I gotta get some sleep. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I was gonna go to bed like 3 minutes and counting. There we go. He's back again.
Yeah, I know you was more than happy at that time. Everybody, if it would have went that way with the way you talking about for Sting, it would have been phenomenal. But I got something big for you, bro. And I'm like Paul Heyman. Like
Oh,
when he
everybody loves
talks
Paul
about the
Heyman.
conspiracy between the match between Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. Well, I got something for you. How about WCW was already dying and already ended and already was taking ownership. And when Scott Hall and Nash went to WCW, you want to know why I say that? Look at Paul, where he's at right now. Look at Sean, where he's at right now. Look at Nash and Hall. That was a click. It was plotted. All that was plotted. All that was in together just because of Triple H, bro. You don't think that? You don't think Triple H, Nash, and Hall and Sean was like, yo, how could we take over WWF and WCW?
Interesting. That's an
Come on, all
interesting
the shit that
topic.
Scott Hall did that he's getting hit in the ass for, and or even the shit that during that time when he did, he didn't get that much big of a disrespect. WWE didn't exile him. Why? Who's friends with? Triple H.
It's all a click thing, yeah. There's a
They
lot of wrestlers
all
that got
had a
blackballed
plot.
too.
Wrestler in that time of the Attitude Era that had two jobs. You can say X Pac. Shawn went from WCW to WWE, like, and with no problems. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
He was NWO. He was DX. DX, phenomenal, took over. They were the NWO of WWE. You get what I'm saying, bro? It was all a plot, and all of
Yeah, it's true.
what
They poisoned the locker room. They were
time,
sent to destroy
what and how
WCW.
could we take over the locker rooms in both dominant wrestling forces?
Have Kevin Nash as a booker.
What makes you think they didn't go to Vince and told Vince, yo, we're gonna do this?
But it doesn't make sense because how did Triple H get like took the whole blame for it? Was this a setup?
That was probably just he did get to you don't know. I'm just saying conspiracy. What makes you think that shit that a regular person would have done that, my brother would have got fired?
I mean, it is true. I mean, we did hear stories about a lot of
Look
wrestlers
at Vince,
getting
bro.
blackballed by the
Vince,
click, like Sean going to Vince all the time, and or whoever who's part of the click was like, "Yeah, we don't like this guy." Yeah, it was a work. I mean, he still got his push. Yeah, and he did. He still got his push, and yeah, it was a work.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying this is for facts. No, I'm saying as a just, you know, I'm just throwing it out there. Good conspiracy. Conspiracy is the key. Conspiracy moves. The conspiracy sells. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm basically shooting right now on a point where, like, what makes you think this wasn't all planned?
I don't know because I couldn't see the between. I couldn't see between the lines on that one. I was just like when I watch wrestling, I'm too focused on what's going on in the storylines, and I don't really don't like I said earlier, I'm not really too focused much on backstage until if I'm interested. Like I said, I watch a lot of Dark Side of the Ring. I've seen shoot interviews. I heard it all, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I can't believe those stories because I wasn't there. But if other wrestlers are there and they're confirming all this, prime example, Ric Flair. How come he hasn't been blackballed because of the situation he
No,
did?
he's getting blackballed as we speak now. Kind
N-
of. You know what?
Not
You're
as
right.
not as
Not
bad as
fully.
Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer's getting the hit the
Why?
most
That's my
because
yo.
he,
That's
yeah,
another yo. I'm so upset about that. Besides the fact that he's Gleason's brother, why did he get so blackballed if he was not the person that did it?
It was the comment he made. That's why they blackballed him. It
So
was the
you're
comment
telling
he
me the
made.
comments worse than the action?
People are sensitive, man. It's called the
Oh, no, no,
cancel
no, no, no. I
the
just want
cancel
people to
culture.
wake up and realize the comment is worse than the action. So you're saying his comments worse than what Flair really did?
It's not it's how he worded though.
So you're talking about words that people nowadays say, "Oh, it's just words."
It's what he all right. What he said was that
He
it's
was
like
basically saying that in another person's eyes would say he's cool with it. That's Flair. So since he's cool with it, he gets the most blackballed. Why didn't Rob Van Dam was cool with it? This is what I'm saying. How come Tommy's getting the kick in the ass of this?
you know what? You got a point there because I was gonna bring that up too. You know, it's something like that similar situation I was going through
Is it because
because I mentioned something. Hold on one second. Because
yeah,
I mentioned something, a word, okay, and then last week that person was doing that action. I was told not to say the word, but I can't do the action. Or you can't say this, you can't say that. So the words I guess is worse than the action nowadays because like I said, we live in a backwards world. Yeah, he did try to make light of his own of a sensitive issue, but he I don't know. It's frustrating. As a fan, it's frustrating. I hate it. I hate everything that's going on with professional wrestling now. Everything that all this was getting
he's
exposed.
talking about entertainment because wrestling is AEW, but besides AEW, yeah, to the topic we talking about is WWE right now. Yes,
Entertainment
it's frustrating.
is showing your weave. You're making a flight attempt to touch your thing. I mean, it's like she tried to talk to her company about it. She felt uncomfortable. It becomes a problem when a woman says no. It feels uncomfortable. It's like
Yeah, man.
unwritten rule of she said no, so
I
just
have,
leave it. You know, and I've trust me, I man, my God, this frustrates me too, B. I had to bring this out. I'm
I have
sorry.
two daughters. I know. I get it.
You know, I have two daughters to myself, but it's like I don't know. It's just feel like I just want to get. It's like a shot to the form in the face.
It's because of somebody you looked up to, man.
You know, exactly. I mean, I watched Tommy Dreamer. I've seen his matches in ECW. I didn't start watching ECW till '97.
Oh man, you missed it.
No, I didn't miss it because I caught it perfect timing because it was a middle of a heated rivalry between Tommy Dreamer and Raven.
Nah, man, when RVD
That
first started was the shit. But go ahead.
I've seen, trust me, I've seen RBVD start. He started as Robbie V in WCW back in '93. That's my wrestling knowledge. It was on WCW Saturday night. Um, I told you I'm a WCW
Mr.
mark.
Saturday Night.
He
Yes, go
was
ahead.
Mr. Saturday Night before he was Mr. Monday Night. But it just frustrates me that here we are in this day and age where people are just like, yo, what in the are we doing here? Why are we having this problem? This talk that this stuff should have been 20 years ago talked about, but we're talking about it now all of a sudden.
Because of social media, man.
It's no,
Social media
it's
is
social media and people's brains and the young intelligent of what's going on. Because like I said, in the light of it, like Base Kip said, he tried to make light of a sensitive situation. People are sensitive. 2021 is the aura of being sensitive. It's a being a severe rebellion to your parents. That's 2021. Something that our parents did to their parents, the curse came into this generation and is getting worse. Don't want to bring that subject because that's not wrestling, but it's a prime example because it's like everything and everyone wants to get involved when it's none of their business. Yes, they are grown men and being. You got it. Yeah, you got a point. You got a point, base kid. There's grown men who are sensitive.
You know
Go,
what?
go ahead, Puma. Take over.
I just want to make this state, and I'm going to do this, and the co-host to approve or not approve, I don't care. But this is our show, and there's going to be special guests on the show, and hopefully we don't have haters. But shout outs to the haters. Um, I just want to clear this right now, and I'm going to clear this, and I'm going to end it here. First of all, when the two episodes that are coming up, ladies and gentlemen, this has nothing to do with all the supporters and the beautiful people that's on this movement of wrestling and mental health and suicide awareness. Don't have a situation where you're mad of different opinions. And if you're mad of different opinions, it is what it is. Deal with it. Because if you respected the opinion, but you're denying the fact that you didn't respect the opinion. So when people make decisions where they slip on an episode, where it could be about females, it could be about anything, drugs, don't go to the non of the problem, the situation, and make it a problem because you're going around telling what's not the problem. You don't call that a friend. You don't call that business. You don't call that a coworker. You don't go and make a fool of yourself, and sometimes you do. Man, we all do. We all humans. Don't go and make a product, a podcast, or whatever you do, and and at first tell you something that you think is different, but then when you start seeing stuff, is like it's an issue, and some people have issues about it. And if a good friend is telling you that some of the people has a problem about it, I appreciate the fact that you respect it. But if I'm gonna have and go and have phenomenal people on your show and they don't like something that's going on with your show, you're gonna tell me, well, I don't give a fuck about it. So if you don't give a fuck about it, damn, that's crazy. You know, that was a rub in the head. Then another rub of the head is that, you know, the only reason why you know me, and I'm stating this guys has nothing to do. This is a shoot, a promo. Um, don't go and say I'm a part of something and I have not got not one message, not what's up, nothing. Just, oh, how you doing? How your homegirl looks hot. Then gets mad, right? that other people are talking, and then you saying you're getting more views, and you're saying this and that, and you love that, and then blah 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 blah. This is the problem. Is it was some little kid shit, that it is some little kid shit, and it needs to get fixed. And fuck that. It don't need to get fixed. I just want to clear that don't go and say we're
Exactly.
marks. Don't go and say that we're little and sad that some people had an opinion, because you know what I'm saying, opinions does matter, especially when it comes to, like, if my reputation, and if I would have brought any female to any product and she's getting, you know, in a way of sense where another person would look at it as hit on and disrespect, and you don't care about that because that's how your show runs, how you expect me to make business? Right now, women are getting raped, this and that, killed. Recently, Gabby, rest in peace. And I supposed to be your boy, right? And only thing you're thinking about is, and that quote is the elephant. I'm gonna say this right now. This podcast, we don't need none of that. We're not competing. You're not a competing. You never will be. Just want you other side to know, J Rod right here is, it is what it is. NYC Alliance. Respect that. Acknowledge that. Acknowledge we are the voice of the voiceless. We're talking about real things, about wrestling, about mental health, suicide awareness, all that's together. Everything that's bad and good, it's going to be on this podcast. We don't need to hear anything, and we don't hear nothing from there. If you're not man enough to go and talk to a phenomenal person that helped you, paid your way, and he did, and you don't appreciate how much of a years of time and consuming that person gave you as a brother, then you're not a brother, brother. So, anyways, Jesse, I love you, man. This podcast is gonna take over. And I'm saying take over. I'm saying take over, and it's in a ways that we're gonna make a movement, and it's wrestling and mental health. And I am so excited. I appreciate the help you're giving me with this. And you and of course the group Alliance saved my life mentally. I am a wrestler that almost committed suicide, and I'm fighting to stay alive, and I'm gonna be alive. And I want to tilt my hats and clap to you guys, honestly, because you, the guys, are the reason why I'm gonna get back into the ring. You guys are the reason why that I'm gonna bust my ass. And 2022 is our year, our federation, and our podcast, Jesse. So anybody that talks shit about us and our family, we just laugh in their face, and that's it. Because we, like Fat Joe said, nothing can stop us. We all the way up. Oh yeah.
Can I have 5 minutes of the time, Mighty?
And by the way, here we go.
Can I have 5 minutes? I just want 5 minutes.
Yo, bro, you had a whole episode a little while ago.
No, but there's something that I got something to say when you brought that up.
Finally, go ahead, brother. Do your thing. I've been waiting for this. I hope what I said motivated you.
I mentioned this before in my stream. I'm also an MLB streamer. I mentioned that because I don't think anybody was paying attention, but they will pay attention here. Okay, let's get this straight. A friendship of 8 years, promoting, helping, supporting, and being there for somebody, knowing that that person also has mental health issues and all that other stuff that goes on. But then, when you help build somebody something to a bigger platform, you try to help. You have big aspirations and not just dreams, but visions. Okay, not just for yourself, but the person you're sharing potential with that person. You're giving your ideas. You're giving you're basically you're pouring your heart out. You're getting people to try to come in. But when you see somebody do some snake shit, right? It's been 8 years of a friendship, and you do stuff like that. It shows the type of person you are, how much of a change you are, or maybe you were just phony the whole time. Now you know who I'm mentioning about. We're not gonna say his name on there. You're constantly taking shots at people on Twitter. You're making yourself look ridiculous. There's no reason for this little kid stuff. I explained to the other person, yo, this person's taking shots at this person on Twitter. I got no involvement. It's not my involvement, but it's got to stop. As I'm trying to explain, like, yo, both y'all, everybody got to cut it out. We're too old for this. Okay. I don't want to take shots at nobody. I already said what I had to say in my piece, but when I have to say this is that this podcast is going to be great and it's for us by us, like food, right? So you got wrestlers coming in, we got guests coming in. We don't belittle anybody. We take opinions and we can run with it. We take ideas, we can run with that also. We have people that have potential to help us. Make it as a team thing. You don't make it as a one guy thing. It's a one man show,
Exactly.
and you want the attention for yourself. So then when the selfishness comes in and you give somebody that attention, they get so bad. And on top of that, you're showing off to people you shouldn't be showing off to, and then try to embarrass me and make me look like a fool. I apologized on air for the situation, but then not to contact me, try to like my post on social media, try to talk to other people that I know, like my comments, and still act like you're my friend. We haven't talked in 3 months, and I don't even care if he's watching or not. You haven't contact. What really bothered me about this person, this specific individual, is he went to you, and he went to the gentleman that's commenting, and you talked, and you guys asked him, what's the situation with you and J Rod? You
And
just
his
wanted to know.
co-host,
And I'm the was the major co-host of the show.
and he goes and talks to his other co-host.
And
But
he tells
anyway, go
the
ahead.
and then he tells the other co-host. And the other co-host doesn't want to be involved, but he's involved anyway for some odd reason.
I was gonna say that, bro. Chill. I'm gonna just quote: "Sit your ass down."
I ain't calling none of that stuff, man. That's
No,
that's some childish
I'm saying
BS.
everybody that's I need to sit their ass down. But anyway, go ahead.
No, my IQ's too high for that. My IQ's too high for all. Like I tell you, I don't belittle anybody. I don't go out and start heckling people. I don't do none of that stuff. And if you want to accuse me for all that, that's fine. I don't care. But my thing is just stop with the bullshit. Just end it. It's like career suicide. It's like there's people that I have potential that want to be on your show, but you ruin it for yourself. I have people, I have connections too, just like you have connections. But then that one connection, you went behind my back and never told me about it. You never told me you was going on air. You never explained to me what happened. You just went off and got mad like a little child. Like I took your toy or something. I mean, basically, nobody has time to make fun. I don't have time for making fake accounts, anything. But if you're taking secret shots at me, but then you're acting like nothing's going on, nothing's wrong between me and you, but you're taking other shots at people because of their opinion on the situation, how you handle with me, that's a huge problem. That's telling you that your mentality is not on there. We don't have the same mentality. Me and you are different. Not I'm saying you, but I'm talking about this in particular individual. I don't have the time to process all that. It's too much. It will drop my IQ. It would drop every idea that I had, and it's just not gonna what it's not working. It's not gonna work out for me. It's not gonna work out for you or anybody else. It's stress on top of stress on top of stress. Mental health plays a role in that. You
Sucks.
get what I'm saying? Why
Sucks.
would you risk somebody to get that much time and that much health? And like I said, it will screw with you. It's not going to screw with my head that you're going to hear taking shots at, or if you're taking shot, I don't know if he's taking this person's taking shots at me or anybody else, but if they personally are taking shots at me, you gotta you gotta understand, I'm not going to respond to stupidity. Okay, I got important things better to do. I got a family to take care of. I got a job to work. Okay, I don't have time to go have Twitter fingers during my break time at my high rise, high job, whatever it's called, because you said your coworkers are more important than your best friend, and you put it that way. But knowing you exposed yourself to me and you told me all these things, I could have went and just said, "Yeah, this person said this. This person's he's full of crap. Fuck him. He says all this shit," and it's just like it's not impressing me. It's not impressing other people. It's and I see it. The people that are around me are seeing this type of person that person is. The type of individual this person is the character. I have character, you have character, everybody else has a different character. The personality is different. Everybody was raised differently. Everybody has issues, comes from broken homes and stuff like that. Yes, that's part of mental health. I'm just gonna sit. I'm gonna end it with this because the mental health is important. And people, you have to be careful your surroundings. If your mental health is not good, you have to be careful with your surroundings because not everybody
That's
cares.
a fact.
Because not everybody
Nobody.
cares about your situation, your life. Nobody's out there to help you. And the only one that's out there by yourself is you. I don't want to go and say, oh, this person's going through mental health. He's bothering me. He's I don't want to. They don't care about that situation. We're in a generation where people do not care about that. They only care about themselves. And you just said an example. You're not you're not asking about my health. You're not caring about me, but you're asking about somebody else. That's not involved in this conversation. That's not even in the subject. Their face is not even like there, B. It just makes no complete sense. Why are you talking about another person when they're not a part of the conversation? That tells that person's mental health is not good. It's not good. The chemicals in the brain is fried.
It's sad because um it's sad because some people forget that you can't always be selfish, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
if a person made a mistake more than once, twice, it doesn't matter how many times a person could make a mistake. The person you can consider being apologetic and straightforward, like talk to me, and then talk shit about the person with somebody else that is not the person you're mad at the point of view. And it's like, where is your mindset on that? Is this a game? Is that you just is you just like that's how you roll. I'm just saying, I'm I'm upset, and the person probably doesn't give a fuck about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm upset because my health is more important right now, and only times you hit me up was to talk about my brother, to ask me how I'm doing. That I appreciate you did, but then you go on ahead and ask about fucking titties. Man, like I don't disrespect anybody and any female. That's not me. And for one time I told you my mom's opinion, and you basically said I don't give a fuck. So you know, I was supposed to have big interviews with with people on this other podcast, and it went the charges myself. It went south. And the reason why it went south is because these people do watch your podcast. And not to support, man. It's to see how it is. And
And
you're
leave.
already told me from jump, if they don't like your show, oh well.
Now, how
So
you
that's a
supposed to get
problem.
ratings if you
That's
can't get if your
that's
show's like
Johnny
if you don't
Rod's
care
on
about
your
people's
show, and his opinion you don't give a fuck about because you know, there's certain things that people see that you're doing on the show and they don't like. And when they say that, and you just don't care. That's how your show is. So it's sad that I can't have them on the show because, you know, the way your show is. And it's very, very, very bad on one point of view is that, man, like,
it's not just it's not just that. It's a simple fact that you don't care about other people's opinion, but then you want to act like a little bitch. That's what pisses me off. What pisses me off now the anger of J Rock comes out. Okay. What pisses me off is that the simple fact that you're crying like a little man, like you're just a kid. You're 5 year old mentality. Like I took your toy away from you. This is not how life is supposed to be. If we were a connection for 8 years and be friends, like for example, me and you, if we were friends for 8 years and we got mad at something, maybe things would have been different. But then you selectively get mad at me, but then you try to replace me. Like I see it all, and it's just like why is he doing this? I was happy when Base Kip was on that show, and when Base Kip told me what happened, and what you told me what happened, I put two to two together. Okay, that's how he wants to do his. That's how he wants to do me. Fine. Guess what? I'm done. I'm not playing around no more. Okay. I'm tired of being the caregiver, the caretaker. Like I cared about this guy. I cared about his situation. He was in bad situations. Who was there for him? Me. Same thing that goes for him. He was there when I was going through a rough time of my marriage. But it seemed like he made my marriage worse because he didn't like my wife. He didn't like the way I was getting
But
treated.
bro, hold
But
up.
like I
But
said, it's the same thing
that's
that he needs to know. He needs to understand that
no, no. I know. I'm not cutting you off. I'm just saying that right there. It shouldn't. Your wife shouldn't be his business. But go ahead.
it was never his business.
Yeah, it
My
shouldn't be.
wife was right. How you gonna take advice from a man who's not even married, that can't even be in a relationship himself? He doesn't even know how to be in a relationship. Which my wife is right. Yeah, we have disagreements, me and my wife, whatever everybody does, but I don't bring it out into the public. He had every relationship problem this person had, it was an issue. He became a simp at one point. He told me everything. I could expose him if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna waste my time on it. For what? Am I gonna get paid for it? Is it gonna be ratings? Man, come on. We don't have time for that jokers, man.
It's not,
Like I
it's not
said,
about
time is
ratings. It's
money.
about It's
It's
about support.
it's about support and being there for somebody in need. Because we're in a century, we're in a generation right now. This it's fucked up. The generation is not. I mean, I'm telling you, the mentality when we speak about mental health, and we're almost going on 2 hours of the show. I'll give myself 5 more minutes. I'm gonna wrap it up with, and you're gonna finish. I'm gonna let you
I
finish
know.
the
I'm gonna
show.
finish.
It's the point of mental health. What are the situations of, okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, if that particular person that we're talking about right now, you going
Well,
through a
next,
situation.
episode 2 is the official episode of wrestling and mental health. We're gonna be answering questions and all that stuff. People, guys, tune in next week. It's gonna be more professional, more serious, and not about what we're talking about right now. But this is our podcast. It is what it is. And right now, go ahead, Jesse.
See, that's a great plugin. He just did. That's a great job he did right there. That's how you do it. So, so to continue on what I was saying, it's like, yo, the stability of mentality is not there. Son, there's something wrong with this guy mentally. I know it because I was there. I was there for the times that you went from living in
And
one
what's sad
city.
is you saying this. What's sad is that you still care, man, and that's fucked up.
It's sad. Yeah, it
It's
is
fucked
sad. I
up.
still care about the brother. But if he's gonna act like that, then it's like he's giving me this. Why? What wrong did I do to you that somebody did worse to you and is doing something worse on your show than what I did? I had two slip ups. You warned me. Yes, okay. My fault. I apologize on air for the second time. But don't lie to the people that are right here on this show that I said it more than 3 times. When you told him I said it, when you told on air that same exact night, and go look it up. It's after the Kate Heschler show, the episode that Kate Heschler was on from
Definitely will.
Mark Order podcast. You said it. You said I did it twice. Where was the
Oh, yo,
third
we're
time?
not giving you views, by the way. Go ahead.
You said it. You said
Dude, it's
I
not
said
about that.
3 times. You told him and the person that's on the chat. You said I said it 3 times. Where was the third time? Where? Okay. Why are you going around telling people you want to talk about ratings? Then you blame me for losing viewers and ratings when you only had 2 views on the show per night. So you're gonna blame me for that? Wow. You're gonna blame me for that. You're gonna go around and tell people and you're gonna lie to people about all this stuff. We had a friendship for 8 years and you screwed it up because of your bullshit. Because of your fucking bullshit that I had to deal with all the stress that I had to go through for the 3 months because I had to deal with your nonsense. You acted like a little bitch and you're still gonna be a bitch for the rest of your goddamn life. I'm telling you, I am so heated right now at this person that, yo, you could have been a man. All you had to do was call me. You had my fucking number. You know where I live. You know where I'm from. You don't, and it's gotten to a point where, like, yo, I'm done. I am done with that faction. I am done with that episode. I am done with that podcast. I don't want nothing to do with it no more. I'm done. I had people that I was close friends with doing the same bullshit, and I didn't learn my lesson from the last time. And guess what? Today I learned my lesson.
You didn't learn a lesson, bro. It is what it is. You move forward.
I move
You
forward,
deal with it.
and I learned it's a lesson learned because every day you learn something new. Every day and every lesson. This is a learning tree that we said earlier about in this episode in the first part. But the major part is people like that don't give a fuck. They don't care about you. Just move on. It hurts, but I had to do it. It hurts, and I had to do it because this is what's gonna give him the attention. That he's gonna open his eyes. He's gonna realize what he did. He messed up a great friendship and a good person in me. Now I gotta be rotten to him because you know what? You did that shit to me, B. And it hurt. For
Your
8 years
microphone's
we were
messed
calling.
up. Your microphone's messing up.
My microphone's messing up. Is it good now?
You sound staticky. Say it again. Say
Yo,
something.
still?
Still.
You know what? We're
Nah,
gonna.
go ahead. Don't worry about it. Don't. My advice, bro. Keep going, and then don't worry, Jesse. I got you. I'm feeling the pain, bro. I'm feeling the pain, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you right now. You know what? I'm gonna join you.
Can
I'm
you
gonna
hear?
join you with these tears and with these whatever you
There
have
ain't
right
gonna be
now.
no
Okay?
tears.
No, I know.
It's
I'm
gonna
just
be
letting you
pure
know.
anger and
I'm
happiness
talking
at
about
the
these
end of
are
the day.
dry tears. This is basically love and upset and something that you learn from. Because at the end of the day, we get kicked at the end. You know what I'm saying? We got kicked. And, I'm still a part of guys. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to support them, support them. Mike will order, whatever.
I'm not
I
supporting you.
I I a
You
part of
can't do it
what?
no
Like
more.
I don't get no invites. I don't get nothing. Nothing.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with what I'm gonna say now. And I'm gonna say it on air right now. Don't care about the viewers, and I don't care about your supporters. You made me look bad. I didn't make you look bad. You made yourself look bad. Okay. Now I realize the times is turning. Okay. I had everything lined up. People that were going to put in the show, they turned away because they actually saw what was going on in that show and the particular bullshit that you pull. Okay, they're
And
not going to be involved of a man who's creeping on women. I'm going to go there at 1:45. I'll be there in 45 minutes to get you Starbucks, knowing that that woman's going to fucking reject you. I'm being truthful, but don't lie to me, B. Don't lie to these people. These are my people. They're good people. If I brought them to you, there was a reason why. And you try to make me look bad. That's the part that really pissed me off. It's disgusting and the vile. You're gonna try to fucking deflame my character? Who the hell do you think you are, man? Who the fuck do you think you are? This is no reason why you coming up to these people and telling them lies and all that. Come on, really? You could have called me. You could have probably came to my house, talked to me. Yo, listen, Rob, we got to talk about this situation. It's never gonna get diffused because you didn't want to diffuse it. All you had to do was one simple little text, one little call. We would have talked. I don't need to come to you, and you didn't need to come to me. That's fine. You wanted to leave it at that. Maybe cooler heads will prevail, but you
just
didn't
left
do
it
that.
like that.
You didn't do that. You didn't do that. You betrayed me, B. You stabbed me in the back, B. And that's how exactly I felt. You talk to people you don't barely know, but I know them. You didn't think they were gonna come to me and tell me what was gonna go on, but you want to go around and tell people, oh, they're starting stuff, and then no, they're not starting stuff. They wouldn't tell me a lie. You told a lie. You lied to them, and you especially lied to me, and you went behind my back and you did some foul shit too, man. That was fucking bullshit. So now to end it with that, the 8-year friendship is gone and thrown out the window. You're not an enemy. You're not a friend. You're just somebody I don't even know, and you don't even exist to me anymore. And if it hurts you, if you listen to this, you're watching it, and if it hurts you, and you
Taking
know who
care
I'm
of, bro.
talking to, and you're listening, and you know who I'm talking to. And I'm telling you, and if it hurts me for me to say this to you, maybe it's an understanding. Maybe put it in your brain. Maybe install it, plug it in. Because you're never gonna have a friend like me, B. I'm telling you like this. I grew up differently. I'm built differently. Okay. You know me and I know you. But the difference between me and you was I'm stronger than you, B. Mentally, physically. Okay. I'm gonna tell you, I'll give myself 2 minutes on this one. I know I gave putting too much time in it. I've been through a lot of hell in my life, health wise. And it caused me. I know the mental health. I was there. Okay, at 19 years old, I was going through so much time. 2003 was one of the worst years in my life. And we're talking about something that almost happened 20 years ago. All the things, and you knew about it. You know about that. You know the situation I'm going through with my, but like I said, I keep it to myself and I leave it that way. No involvement. But I would never take advice from you because you're a single man. You know everything. Mister, I take advice from Kevin Samuels, who's another jerk off. Steve Harvey, I don't take advice from that man either. I don't take advice from any other man that doesn't know a situation he's never been in. But he can listen and learn from it and take it. If he doesn't, then guess what? You're gonna be stupid for not learning. Your soul's gonna die from not learning. You're not gonna nourish it. You nourish learning different things every day. And then when you pull bullshit like this, and you don't want to learn, you don't want to take people's opinions, you don't want to sit down and talk to them to get to know people like I do on a daily basis, because that's how I am. Okay, like I said, example, I was raised differently. I sit there and listen to people's problems. We talk it out. I help. That's it. I do my best to be there. People don't want to hear you talk over them. Oh yeah, I got a problem too. My thing. No, you know me, Mike. You know me, man. You know me. I sit there and listen. I don't have to talk over you. Yes, maybe I've done it a couple of times, but I don't have to talk over you. I don't have to compare my problems to your problems. Never did and never will. My thing is, I sit here and I think about all these things that I'm going through right now, because that's just how life is as an adult. Simple. Alex Boone Jack, what's going on? Welcome to the show. We're about to end the show anyway.
Yeah.
It came all late. So I'm gonna end it with this.
You're not gonna end it. I'm gonna end it, but go ahead.
No, I'm gonna end just 1 second.
Yeah.
Mental health and wrestling. It is what it is. That's it. Now I pass it on to you, brother.
There was a long show today because technical difficulties, and today was you could say a test run, but next week, Friday, our first official, and this today is, but our first official why we made this podcast, because we just had to let things out. We had to test this. A lot of things happened, and whoever tuned in, I appreciate it. And I'm just gonna let this out my chest. I've been going through a lot these 4 years, and friends and family turned their backs on me. A wrestling world turned their back on me, not intentionally. It's because I was missing in action. I'm back, and people could tell me I'm gonna washed up. People could say that, but y'all don't know me. We all go through it, guys. Don't judge somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm a guy that's 34 years old that beat autism. I'm a guy that beat amputation 4 times. I'm a guy that's fighting heart disease, kidney disease, all that. I'm going through all these mental and health issues, not because it's my fault. I was born with these issues. And I just want everybody to know it's sad that, people know how bad a guy's life is on the line, man, and they still turn their backs on him. It's sad that, parents, and I should say, because thank God now my parents are doing what they got to do. Parents forget your child, if they're born with a certain condition, which it could be diabetes, leukemia, heart disease. Like that, people forget when a child is born with autism, ain't it a blessing that the child, even though they are smart, they're beautiful people, there's nothing wrong with autism. When they beat that disease and know how to react from a yes, a no, okay, or they, because people that has autism can't accept change. When a child is diagnosed with that and becomes a man and has more of a mind and it's growing for some reason, is switched. We have partial, is switched. The world, how pathetic and sad that people could just turn their backs on that. It's messed up, man. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know what's from right for wrong, accept change, relationships, life. I learned this at old age, not young. I didn't get the guidance when I was young just because I was on that level of life and why I was on SSI and why I'm still on SSI, why I can't get a real job because I'm not allowed to, because the way my records is stated, I am not allowed to have a job. And if I go and leave SSI, I will owe IRS money. And there's a lot of things that when a guy that was diagnosed with with a guy that's diagnosed with postmortal depression and not postmortal, what I'm saying, well, it's Prader-Willi syndrome, depression, all that. A girl could have that. A guy could have that. They get post. Any child. We, as a group, as a wrestling family, need to wake up on one thing. I hope you take this advice too, J-Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget that that person was diagnosed with something when he was a kid. And just because he's a man now, yeah, forget. Yeah, disrespect him. Yeah, make fun of him. All that. This is a person that probably grew up watching you as a fan, as a child, on the line of the handicapped disability, waiting for the superstars to fulfill their dreams because they want to fulfill their dreams because they want to meet a famous superstar. And then once they get older, that's when you forget. No, man. Bro, J-Rod, everybody talked shit about me behind my back and in my face. And I allowed it and I ate it. And what's bad about, people that are in a dark path and depressed is that they eat that and they consume it and they don't say nothing. They don't ask for the help. And I forbid everybody get the help. Group therapy. I give everybody, I'll say, if you ever need help, go get group therapy. Not therapy, group therapy. Honestly, do it. It saved my life. And also, you don't need group therapy just to get in the system. You could also get group therapy if you have friendships that get a group together, like how this group saved me. Because I went through a lot of therapy. I went through a lot of mental stuff. I was in a suicide mental facility. I been through that. I seen the bad. I seen the bad in all that. And they're not helping. All those programs that bro, I'm 34 years old. I'm in a nursing home. And everybody around me at one point were dying because they're in their 80s. They're got Alzheimer's. They're in a diaper. And I'm 34 years old, the youngest man in that facility, watching everybody die around me. They're phenomenal people. That fucked me up. On top of that, when you reach out to look for your friends and family and nobody, to them, they got a life. I'm not saying they did, but they got a life. I get it. Don't throw that in the person's face, man. If y'all, the first thing y'all tell them is when they get out the hospital, yo, we got you. Don't do that. You know, it is what it is sometimes, yes. But damn, it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Mental health is an issue. And it is a problem in wrestling. The reason why I had wrestling and mental health together was because it took a lot out of me. And I cried, Jesse, that night that you took me to that show with Grace Kid. And I bowed my head to you, man, because I seen my brothers wrestle in the ring, and they don't even, half of them didn't even know I'm sick. And if they care, I don't know. But to see that and to see that's what I want to do, and then music and engineering and all that stuff, and it's going to happen next year, 2022. I am happy I met you, man. I'm happy I met this alliance. I'm happy I beat autism. I'm happy I'm fighting for my life because I didn't care about my life at one point because I was in a dark place and it wasn't my fault. A man that was in the hospital fucking 4 years straight could go insane. Before you met me, 4 years straight in the hospital, brother. Lost a marriage, lost this, lost another relationship after that, almost lost my kids. So imagine how much depression I was in. Imagine how much I was so jealous that I can't even get in the ring, bro, because I'm going through something I ain't asked for. And then to deal with that, I'm reaching out to the people that I want to reach out and never got back. And then if I did, got thrown things in my face at the end of the day. Shit, if you know a person suicidal, why keep nagging it? Why throw things to somebody that some people cannot take pain? I've been taking pain for 24 years, mentally and physically, and I'm 34. I'm here to say, time is up. It is what it is, and I'm gonna fight it because it is what it is, man. Anybody that told me I'm not gonna become, I am. Just because, yes, said I'm not. I'm lucky to be here. Gleason's own 9-year wrestler. Gleason's own respect Johnny Bras, and I respect all other things outside of Gleason's. I'm gonna mention places, MLW, Ring of Honor. I put my hat, so Bound for Glory. Anything. The WoW, Wars of Wrestling, even though it is what it is, but respect it. T2T, Wrestling Academy, respect it. All these places came from Gleason's, and I respect anybody and I love everybody that has to do with wrestling, but I respect Johnny Rocks to the T. That's my master, my mentor, everything. So I'm here to let everybody know next week's episode, conversations are going to go crazy. Conversations, comments, opinions, it's going to go out because it is what it is. And it needs to be like that. Mental health and wrestling. Everybody tune in for next week. The official episode. No games. Anything goes. One-on-one. J-Rod versus Pumbaa in a debate on conversation and love of two guys talking about what's good and bad about wrestling and mental health. I'm here to tell everybody, and this is all a dream from the people in a phenomenal group. Me, Jesse, and Cardi. Bow down to the boss. He will be coming up on some episodes. Johnny Rods, be prepared to see him. Danny Limelight, God willing. I just want everybody in this group and everybody promote who y'all want, who we should interview. Give us ideas. We taking ideas. Don't be scared. Any topic. It is what it is. Suicide, wrestling, Chris Benoit, CM Punk. It goes on from there.
And we'll make cut
promos. And this is going to be a worldwide thing. Wait and stay tuned because episode 3 is going to be very, very, very crazy.
We got a guy who does not miss any shots.
Oh.
Is he the third member? The real third member. Let me tell you something. This person that we're talking about, we'll let you know when he's on the episode. But he's a real dude. I mean, when we went to the show, I mean, he's an awesome dude, man. Awesome dude. Real as hell. I'm talking about he kept it real. And I felt like I fit in because, like I said, I'm also from New York. I grew up and raised in Washington Heights, Manhattan. I may not be a Queens, Brooklyn, but I'm from the city. You know, and they always say New Yorkers always stick together, right?
Yes.
They don't know what's out here. Shoot, the way I went to your neighborhood, man, that block, that was all love right there. I don't give love in the area I live at. They don't even give a damn.
I'm famous out here, bro. They showed you love, and I love that. They found out you knew me. How much love they gave you in the hood?
Plenty of love.
You would have got robbed if they didn't know you.
I know.
So
this guy, you read that comment? It's not a secret. I didn't sign a contract. No, yo, this guy, yo, he's too much, man. But we love Base Kid, man.
Oh, wait, I seen that just now. Yes, well, contracts? There were contracts involved? Never mind.
I don't have enough money to spend on printing paper, okay? Let's just leave it at that. And I noticed they've been taking shots at us, too. I know. I watch.
This is what I'm saying before we end the episode. Why take shots? Ma, the soup. Why take shots?
Ma, the soup.
Why take shots?
Yo, Base, clip that. Ma, the soup.
You know what? When I seen that episode, J-Rod, just to talk to you and the person that's on the comments right now, I felt some type of way. I felt like that shit was all, you know, it wasn't planned because the co-host was surprised in a way, but I didn't think he was surprised. It was a good. I bowed my head to that show, to that episode, and you know, the reason why I bowed my head to the episode is because, you know, you took and made an episode on your main podcast from a person that has his own thing, is phenomenal at his work, gave the fuck about your shit at one point, could have support, but started seeing the negativity and the negativity because You got introduced to these guys and me, and if it wasn't for you getting introduced to me and to the person that's on the comments, you didn't give two shits the person that introduced you to them. Nah, man, you don't do that. You don't. I wouldn't go and basically introduce my best friend to one of my friends and then go right. Introduce, bro, and talk shit to them about you. I don't do that.
That's the thing. What I was just saying earlier.
I don't do that. I would never do that. That is that don't make any sense. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, brother, you did a whole episode saying that now you're gonna get views and this and that. You might even get more. Who gives a fuck, bro? What's getting me mad, and you're probably surprised because I have not said nothing. Because, bro, you haven't hit me up. But you was the one that hit me up and said all this shit. I'm in the uncomfortability because I just met you and it was through because of J-Rod. How dare you go, bro? You know what I'm saying? Do that. And when I go and tell you you don't go talk to him and you saying to me you're going to talk to him and then you didn't, bro. But then you get mad that one another brothers put you on the spot and said how they felt. And it was just, even whatever stream that's where you took the episode and made the problem even known to the world. So right now, this got to cleared up. NWO, don't even think that y'all gonna take shots at me and It Is What It Is podcast. Because you told me you are, and I quote, interested in hyped to see this show. But you're gonna see and hear shit that it needs to get cleared off. It has, thank God. And in a way, it shouldn't even got cleared off like that. This is a podcast, and I respect our podcast. And I'm not saying I don't disrespect. I'm not ever going to disrespect your podcast, my G. But don't think just because you see this episode and you're going to make a whole nother episode about throwing shots about It Is What It Is and mention me. Because don't mention me on your episode, Mike. Don't, brother. Don't do that. I have not disrespected your show and never will. Do not disrespect my show with J-Rod's, basically our show, because you made it clear if this was worldwide and you should have not done that. Now that's worldwide and it's in the open, I'm going to end this shit like this, guys, without Jesse say so. Don't fuck with It Is What It Is. NYC Wrestling Alliance. Don't even think about it, MWO. Don't think about it. Don't even consume it. Don't talk shit. Don't laugh about it. End it here. You're going to hear this and that's it, Mike. Because the simple fact is, that was some foul shit. You should have just went up to the man and talked it out with the man, and this would have never all happened. This would have never happened. And what's fucked up is that I'm going to say this, and this is the words to my kids. You are grimy, Mike, for one reason, and this is the reason, brother, is that you don't give a fuck about another person's opinion, especially when it comes to your show. How could somebody work with you if you don't care about the importances of somebody telling you, bro, it's like I have a following and they don't like what they're seeing. And it was not just my mom, Mike. It was Johnny Rods, Danny Limelight. I'm over here thinking of the show. And yes, some people didn't tell me your show was like that. But my brother, you're working with, I'm trying to get your shit professionalized, and you're over here talking about, you're upset people bringing up marijuana on your show. But you're over here discriminating and basically hitting on women and putting them down.
Not only that, man, the hypocritical side of it is that you had a guy roll a blunt and smoke it on your show. Now, how hypocritical is that?
Nah,
I'm sorry, I have to bring
J-Rod
it
said
up.
what he said. You don't need to say no. I respect everybody that's on your show, but if I hear anybody else in your next episode, and I watch your episodes, Mike, I'm of you. Don't go there. That's it, brother.
Just drop it.
Don't go there.
Just drop it.
Drop it.
That's
We
just
heard what you
limited.
said, and now you hear what J-Rod's finally saying. You want to kick me out of your group, your chat? That's on you, brother. Because you have not gave me not one notification, not support, nothing. The last time I ever heard you to mention Miyagi on your show was I'm in recovery and I'm going to be on your show soon. And that never happened, brother. But you go ahead and, hit me up and ask me how I'm doing. I appreciate that. But what I did not appreciate is that after that, you said my homegirl's hot. I should have known you was going to say that. But it was not even about that, brother. And yes, she has homegirls. But, none of my homegirls will talk to you, bro, because they seen your shit, bro. And some people don't like it, Mike. I'm just saying. You said what you said in your podcast. You said it's sad. It's not sad. The situation, you made it sad, bro. Like, it's anyways. Let's let that go. All I'm saying, don't fucking mess with Miyagi, brother. Okay? And that's it. Next week, guys, tune in. Topics we will ask. We're gonna be posting before Friday for anybody's opinion to get on and ask whatever they want to support. Whereas mental health and wrestling, you got questions, you got answers. Everything's gonna happen that day. J-Rod, this is our show. I'm happy we're starting a platform that's gonna be phenomenal, and I can't wait to have a live audience, bro.
Oh, we're gonna have a live audience. We have a live audience right here.
I'm talking about us in the stage in front of people.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Because people want to hear your story, man. That's the most important thing. They want to hear your story and the journey of your life, and that's the most. This is what this podcast also is for. They want to hear the journey of what it is. They want to hear the journey and the stories of how it started from beginning to now. And it's going to keep moving on and on to generations. And people are going to hear about this podcast because the importance of it. We're trying to reach out to people. We're not trying to be negative. We're not trying to take shots at nobody. We don't waste time for that. That's too much energy and too much stress. For what? That's childish shit. But I'm 38. He's 34. Let's leave it at that. We're adults. Let's be civilized. So anything else you got to say, Pumbaa? We good?
Yes.
Anything we're gonna come up for next week's episode?
Yes. I want anybody to throw in opinions. Don't be scared to comment on our show. We reaction. We will take in videos if it's possible. We pick in who could jump on and we could talk to them from there and then. But people, guys, family, be prepared. I am focusing on getting names on this show, interviews, and it's not even an interview, just a conversation between me, my mentor, Johnny Rods, and J-Rod, having conversations that made history, because Johnny Rods made history at Leeson's, made history at Madison Square Garden, and that is my mentor. Then from there, moving on, talk about situations about Daphne, her suicide. Rest in peace to a beautiful woman. It's sad. Her life was taken too early, and we need, as a group, as a company, as a family, as a scene, the wrestling scene in general, need to
You're
get
gonna talk about
together
professional wrestlers
and
about the situation. Yeah, that's cool.
basically and you know, and 911 helps somebody suicide, man, because we're losing too many young talent in wrestling, and wrestling suicide is the number one the cancer in wrestling, and it's sad, and we all need to get together and stop it. We have to. It's a must, very must. And for next week's episode, Jesse, J Rod, I want to focus on wrestling, like the topics I put on here. We talk about CM Punk. We didn't get to do that. We will talk about AEW more. Talk about my career, of course. Talk about you. Talk about suicide. And then we move on from
That's
there.
one topic that I forgot to bring. Well, we're gonna bring that up to the next episode. I already got the list down. That what we're gonna get to that one next. But there's a possibility in the next episode. I'm thinking about bringing a special guest.
Who's this guy?
Professional wrestling. Can't be done with. We love professional wrestling. Come on now.
All right.
A professional wrestler that wants to be on the show, that wants to talk about his career, maybe wrestling.
It's fine.
Maybe
I'm with it. We both could talk. I could talk about my career here. We could both go out.
Yo, you all can share your careers, your you know what I'm saying, your experience in professional wrestling. How was it, the traveling, you know, getting in the ring, training, getting your body right for the match, your endurance, all the other good stuff, you know, and that's what we're here. You know, and their well-being too. We always got to care about the wrestlers' well-being because we know that they're in pain. They put their bodies through hell every day.
J Rod, I want to thank you and everybody that's on this page. It's from the bottom of my heart, man. Thank you so much, because we're the voice of the voiceless. We're the next phenomenal podcast. We're J Rod, Umba, aka Miyagi. Next week's episode, I would love and appreciate anybody to show love and give us our flowers and our champagne. I enjoyed this episode, brother, even though the ups and downs of this episode. But yes, from the bottom of my heart, Jesse, J Rod, thank you, man. We're going to take over, brother.
Definitely. Take it easy, man. So you guys have a good night. We're closing the show out. I gotta take my ass to bed because I was up all day, you know, trying to get the show ready. And like I said, it did take a toll, but everything went out perfectly great on the second part. I don't know. Maybe we'll have the first part aired.
We're going to edit everything, bro. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to
we'll
look
edit
good.
the first part out. Just you let me know which parts, and then we'll work on it. And we was going to have our third person, the mystery guy, that he's also been great helping us out with everything that's going on with the production set.
For the third episode, it's basically going to be a war.
Yeah. Roll is war. It's just like the graphics of this gentleman who blessed us.
Well, I'm just going to say here, when the third episode comes, this right here, you can call this the Base World Order Wrestling, brother.
He's the third member. Comes in, finishes with the leg drop. So, guys, have a good night. Thank you all for the support. Thank you for Puma. Thank you for coming back on the show.
Peace.
I'm part of the X division. I'm a cruiserweight. But guys, thank you. Base Kip, Swipey, Alice Jack, Cardi, Luna Bombay.
They're watching right now?
They were earlier. I'm gonna put a new one in there. And thanks to Base Kid for the emotes. There's gonna be more great emotes to come. I mean, like I said, we're here for. There's a purpose why we're here. So we're gonna keep continuing.
Yeah,
this.
none of this that you seen is everything next week's gonna be professional. Everything's
Well,
gonna be
because
legit.
hey,
No, I'm
it
just
is
not
what it
saying
is.
it. Everything's gonna be legit. More focus on the. I just want to thank everybody, and I know next week is gonna be more. I don't even care if it's zero audience. It's gonna be a blast interview, and if y'all miss it, it is what it is. But y'all gonna miss a good episode and a phenomenal episode. And
But they're not gonna miss it. There's gonna be a
episode
replay.
two, episode two
So,
is
guys,
gonna be here.
before we end this show, I want to thank y'all. We're gonna be next. I know we want to do the sharing of the platforms and all that. We'll do that the next episode because this episode we had to get this right. We didn't want to do everything right.
We gotta add a lot. We
This
gotta add a
episode will
lot.
be aired. I will have it recorded on YouTube, and I'll share this episode with people because there's a need and people are trying to reach out to get help. So, thank you guys. Have a good night. Peace.